This right here is a chain. This is a saw. When you put them together, what do you get? Chainsaws, very dangerous. According to a Business Insider article, logging topped the list as the most dangerous job in America. It doesn't stop there. About 36,000 people are injured each year running one of these bad boys. Most of those idiots are homeowners and DIYers, just like you and I. If you're gonna ignore everything I just told you and go out and buy yourself a chainsaw, well, stop what you're doing and listen up. This part's important. First things first, this is the dangerous spinny part. Stay away from that. Also, this thing has two handles. One with the loud pedal, brat, 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 and the other one right here. And this is a brake. When this thing inevitably kicks back and tries to knock your teeth out, the brake will stop because of your hand, stop the chain, and keep your face all face-like. But if you're a tough guy and you like to saw with one hand so you can use that other hand to put in your pocket, fondle yourself, wave to your friends, whatever it is you do with that other hand, when this thing does kick back, your hand will not be there to engage the brake. It's gonna hit you in the face, and I hope you're already ugly because looks maxing will not help you after that. To understand kickback, we gotta understand how a saw works. This thing is spinning 10,000 times every minute. And so when you're cutting, this thing's gonna spin this way and pull your chainsaw into the log. That's called a pulling chain. These are called dogs. Those will dig into the log and then you cut right through. If you cut from the bottom up, this is going to push and then you have to fight the push and hold on to it to cut. This is a little bit more difficult to do, but it's also perfectly safe and perfectly fine. Where things get sketchy is when you get on the end of the saw right here. So anywhere from this area is dangerous because remember this thing's spinning at 10,000 RPMs and this thing will walk up, kick off right into your face. The way even experienced sawyers get bit is they don't realize and they hit a piece of brush or God forbid a barbed wire fence or just something else they're cutting down on the log and the tip does what I just showed you, kicks back in their face. Now that you understand kickback, I feel a lot better and there's just a couple more things before I show you how to cut a tree down. One thing, if you let off the loud pedal over here and that chain keeps walking around the bar, you need to tighten that chain. Another thing you may have heard is that a sharp chain is a safe chain, and it's very true. A sharp chain gets through the wood faster, uses less energy for both the saw and yourself, keeps the saw cool, which means it's gonna last longer, keeps you cool, which means you're gonna last longer, and also it's the reason why butter knives are so darn dangerous, I think. And now it's time for everybody's favorite topic, politics. Oh, just kidding. Safety, chaps. Not just for hog riders. These things got little strings in them, so when you try to cut your leg off, the strings wad up inside the chainsaw, stopping the saw, saving your leg. Safety glasses, because safety squints give you crow's feet. Hearing protection, huh? And finally, leather boots, because unless you're a Marvel character, your Piggly Wigglies, they're not growing back. Let's cut a tree down. At some point, you're gonna wanna cut down a tree. This tree right here will be perfect for our demonstration. This is a rock elm. It's perfect because it's gonna die of Dutch elm disease pretty soon. But right now, it's still solid, no rot, I assume. And one other thing I forgot to say is, put on your helmet. I know they look silly, but you gotta protect that egg. It's pretty important. The main thing that kills people around these trees is not the tree or the chainsaw, it's the stuff falling out of the tree, or the stuff getting thrown back at you, or falling out of other trees. Okay. The first thing we're gonna do is come up to our tree, put our back to it, and look straight up the tree. And as you can see, it's gonna fall that way. So, before we can do anything, we're gonna clear a path for the tree to fall, and we're also gonna clear a couple 45-degree angle escape routes so we can get the heck out of here when this thing starts to go. And look around for anything else that might not go well. Every tree is very different. On this tree, it's very straightforward. It's a tall, straight tree. It's got a slight lean going that direction. So I'm gonna put my face cut so it faces that direction. And what a face cut is basically a big old open mouth, like a Pac-Man. but we're gonna come in parallel to the ground for our first cut, and then we'll come up top and make the other one. If you're on the West Coast, you might wanna cut in and make a Humboldt cut, but we're not even gonna talk about that. If you look at your saw, you're gonna have a line that goes right down the middle. That's your sight line. That's perpendicular to your bar, so when you get into your face cut, line that up with where you want the tree to go, and that's gonna help you. What we have here is a classic Dutchman. Now these are not good. This means that my cut went past my other cut. You can also have a Dutchman going this way. What you want is you want both cuts to be perfectly together so there's a nice clean line all the way across the tree. So let me clean that up and then we can move on. Now we have a beautiful line going all the way across. That's what we want, no Dutchmans. Now that we got our face cut out and it's all clean, we want to come in and make our back cut. But we're not going to come flat across, we're not going to be low, we're actually going to come up a couple inches. So that way when this thing's falling, it's not going to slide back off the stump at you. And do not make an angled back cut. If this thing leans back on an angled back cut, it can sever the fibers and the whole tree can break off and go any direction it wants, and you're not going to have a good time trying to outrun that tree. And when we come, we don't want to cut through our holding wood, which will be this wood right here, because that holding wood creates a hinge, which is going to allow the tree to fall on that hinge. So we're going to come straight back, stop about 1/10 on both sides. So we want to be very careful not to cut through our holding wood. Let's take a look at what we got here. So we cut our face cut, got that out of the way. We got a nice clean line, no Dutchmans. And this is our hinge. This is what controls the tree as it falls to the ground like a giant hinge. And the most important part of your hinge is actually the outside corners. This is your holding wood here and here. A big mistake that people often make is they cut right through their holding wood, and now this thing is not holding the tree and it can go any direction it wants to. So you always want to protect that holding wood. And if you watch, that tree fell right on that hinge, and at the very end, it severed the fibers and broke off the stump. This backside is cut higher than the front. As it's falling, this keeps it from trying to slide off the back of the stump towards you with your chainsaw. Generally speaking, you want to take 1/3 of the tree out for your face cut. You can see I took about 50%. 1/3 would probably be about there, and that would have been just fine, and my holding wood would have been here instead of all the way back here. The reason why that was not a problem on this tree is this is a very straight tree. It had very little top weight in it, and it was just barely leaning where I wanted it to go. But generally speaking, just take 1/3 of the tree out for your face cut. Which brings me to the point, there are a lot of different techniques and strategies for every tree because every tree is different. And if you look at the comments right now, there's probably experts letting me know what I've done wrong or what they would have done differently. And that's just the name of the game. Every tree you cut, you need to learn something and get a little better. But always protect your holding wood, build a nice hinge, listen, pay attention, and stay safe. I will say the most important thing to take away from all this is to know when to walk away, when to set the chainsaw down and admit that you're in over your head. Because even if you don't love yourself, someone else probably does. But if you take your time and you're careful, even you, an idiot just like me, can own one of these pups. So have fun, stay alive, because otherwise who's going to watch my videos? And make sure to go hug a tree once in a while. It feels good. Make sure no one's looking.